Hello and welcome to the first in a series of the online webinar sessions we will be running, focused on showcasing various different investments from all over the world. My name is Dean Oakford, owner of Malaysia-based international real estate agency Wealth by Design and partner in international property distributor Portfolio Spotlight. In each of these investment sessions, we will be bringing 5 new developers to showcase their projects. Each will have roughly 10 minutes to present to you, followed by 5 minutes of quick-fire questions, should you have any. At the end of each session, you'll have the opportunity to use the chat function to ask any questions you wish. This webinar series is aimed to give our investors and partners an insight into the worldwide opportunities that are available in the market. In order for us to keep this webinar as short as possible, each developer may not have time to answer all of your questions. However, this video will be posted on YouTube the day after the event for all of you to check out, with contact details for every developer on there, which will detail how you can follow up with more questions. Our schedule for today is first up Prosperity. Victoria will be discussing UK no deposit residential properties in the UK. Next up, then we have Paul detailing St Camillus, which is UK hotels. Then we have High Street Group, Julian discussing UK property loan notes, and followed by lastly Jamie, who will discuss a French 5-star hotel with us. So enjoy the show, ladies and gentlemen. And first up, we have Victoria from Prosperity. Take it away, Victoria.
Lots of new exciting projects in the pipeline, and we're concentrating at the moment on Birmingham because we just feel this is a really good place to invest in at the moment. And 3 years from now, we're looking to do over 1 billion in residential acquisitions. So we're definitely a company that's growing at the moment. So as you can see, we've actually completed on over 2,094 apartments, and we've got 29 schemes. 85% of those are actually pre-sold, so we sell our apartments off plan. Just to give you an example of some of our projects, so this particular one which has come up, which is JQ1, which is where our office is based at the moment. This is a project that we did about 12 years ago. It's a completed project of 52 apartments, 4 commercial units, development value of 7.8 million. So this is where our office is at the moment. This has been rented out in a really good area over the past 12 years. A lot of investors who brought here have made a great deal of value in their purchase. The next one is Smithfield Square, which is our new project that I wanted to talk to you about today. We've got Smithfield Square and Smithfield Place, which are both based in the Digbeth area of Birmingham. This particular one is 105 apartments, 3 commercial units, and a development value of 24.6 million. So this is a real popular development for us at the moment. It's in Birmingham city centre, which is close to walking distance, literally 5 minutes to the Bullring, to the new shops, Chinatown. It's also walking distance to Grand Central Station, as well as being very close to the new HS2. So a lot of our investors that are investing here can see the value in the fact that you're right in the city centre. You can't get any closer really to where the whole regeneration of Birmingham's happening. We've also got another project, which is a different part of our business, which is a conversion. So we do new builds, but we also do conversions. With this particular development, it's an office block which is being converted into 143 apartments in the centre of Walsall, which is about half an hour away from Birmingham. So a really good area where we're able to put out there properties, 1-bed apartments of around 100,000, 2-bed apartments, all with parking for 124,000. So these are very much available to a wide range of clients. We also offer on our PDR conversions an option for the client to do something which we call a no mortgage option. So this would be a payment plan where a client would put down 50% over a 2-year build period, and then the other 50% would be covered by the rental income. I've actually got a really good video which I can send you afterwards, which just covers the main areas of this. It would take too long to go through it all now. The next part of this that I wanted to go through with you was the main reasons to invest in Birmingham. Because I'm from Birmingham, I'm very passionate about Birmingham. I just feel like it's a real vibrant city that's got so much going on at the moment. You look around and there's cranes everywhere, there's new apartment buildings, there's new bars, there's new restaurants. There's so much going on at the moment in Birmingham, and I do feel that this is our time now. So Manchester, Liverpool, different areas have had their capital appreciation, whereas Birmingham is at the very start of that. So for investment purposes, it's an amazing place to invest in, because we're just at the start of this growth that's going to continue over the next 10 years. So the reasons to invest in Birmingham is the main one's population. So our population has actually grown by 150,000. So it will grow by 150,000 by the year 2031, which means that we haven't got enough houses in Birmingham. We need to create more properties, more homes. The council's actually been targeted on 4,500 homes per year that need to be created. The actual figures that are being created at the moment are actually only 1,800. So we're significantly behind. So the council need developers like ourselves to be bringing out more apartments, especially in the city centre where there's a lot of regeneration. Birmingham has also got a lot of student retention. So we've actually got 5 universities in Birmingham. The universities, the city of Birmingham has actually seen one of the largest increases in student retention rates in the country. And we've also got a lot of inward migration. So Birmingham is the most popular UK destination for people moving out of London. We've also created a lot of Grade A office space. So a lot of the real big companies are moving their main office headquarters to Birmingham. So we've had HSBC, which have moved from Canary Wharf. They'll be relocating to Birmingham Broad Street in the next few months. We've also got HMRC, Channel 4 moving. We've got Deutsche Bank. There's many large solicitor firms, a lot of accountants companies are coming to Birmingham because it's an easily accessible location, especially when HS2 comes into place in the next 6 to 10 years. We've also got a lot of infrastructure investment going on. So as well as the new HS2, which will see people being able to commute to London in as little as 40 to 45 minutes, we've also got a lot of infrastructure going into the centre of Birmingham. So we've got a complete new metro link, which will link different parts of the city, just making people living in the city centre, it's a lot easier for them to get to places such as the airport, to different stations in the city and to different residential areas. So as you can see, there's a lot going on in Birmingham at the moment. Which leads us to our Smithfield master plan. So Prosperity as a developer have managed to acquire land on the Smithfield site, which was the old wholesale market in the centre of Birmingham. So the wholesale market is actually going to be completely regenerated and revamped into this amazing space in the centre of town, where there'll be Festival Square, there's going to be apartments, there'll be residential areas, new shops, new restaurants, new hotels. So there's going to be a whole amount of money put into this particular area that's right in the city centre. And we're lucky enough to have our apartments right where these red boxes are that you can see here. So we're going to be right in the city centre, which is where our apartments are. So anybody looking to invest in Birmingham, this is an amazing area at the moment. So this is what the council have got planned. So this is the big city plan from Birmingham City Council, and it all looks very exciting. Just to give you an idea of where it is in the scheme of Birmingham, I'm not quite sure how visible this is, but to give you an idea, Smithfield Square and Smithfield Place, which is where our developments are walking distance to the Bullring, to Grand Central, to the new HS2 station, which will be Curzon Street. It's also very, very close to Chinatown, and also the main shopping area, New Street. It's also right in the centre of the new metro stations. So there'll be a metro station at the Digbeth coach station, which will literally be 2 minutes walk from Smithfield Square and Smithfield Place. So prosperity, these are the main benefits really to have a look at when looking at prosperity as a developer. We are slightly different to other developers in the fact that we don't expect a large lump sum deposit. Our deposits for any client looking to buy one of our apartments will be a 3% deposit. We have unique monthly payment plans. So as well as the one that we discussed earlier, which was the no mortgage one, we also offer clients the option to pay 30% over the 2-year build period. So they can pay monthly, they can pay quarterly, they could pay 6 monthly. We can talk to these clients or offer you a bespoke, tailor-made payment plan that suits their needs. The developer loan, which is what we briefly discussed earlier, I've got a video that I can send you, which is something where the client would just put 50% down, and then we will effectively loan them the 50%, which they pay back by the rental income. We also offer rental assurance through a letting agent that we're affiliated with, and we do property management as well. So we're trying to fit everything in and just offer clients a full service really. So with our particular development at the moment in Birmingham, we're offering something called Signature Living, which we're making sure that our particular apartments are not your standard interior. We're going to be offering a very bespoke contemporary design, custom built kitchens, stylish bathrooms, hardwood floors, polished concrete surfaces, just to make our development stand out for your clients.
Okay, thank you very much, Victoria. That's 10 minutes or 12 minutes.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I was going to just quickly talk about the broker, but that's fine. I'm finished. Thank you so much.
I know what it's like when you get started. Don't worry. Okay, so we've got about 3 minutes to answer any quick fire questions from you guys. If you've got any questions for Victoria on prosperity, please let us know. We've sold a few of these in Malaysia, and what my clients like the most about this is the fact that you can buy a property and you can pay monthly for it, or you can pay quarterly for it, or 6 monthly for it. So for some of their properties they have, like Tame, where you saw there, you can buy with literally, you pay your reservation fee of 3,000 plus your legal fees of about 800, I think it is, and then you pay monthly for the property over 2 years. Once it reaches that 2-year built period, you get the keys, it's yours on title. Then you can let them rent it out for you to collect and pay for the final 50% of the property. It's really, really good. Payment plans are fantastic. Leverage what you can, and they're the only guys doing this in the UK. So if you thought buying property was expensive, then you need to get in contact with these guys. If there are any questions, please just post them on the bottom right hand side, and we'll get Victoria to answer them.
Thank you, Dean.
Yeah, we'll just wait for them to come through. If there are no questions, guys, we will move on after about 30 seconds to a minute. The next person we have is Paul from St. Camillus. But yeah, thank you very much, Victoria, for logging on and sharing that with us.
Thank you, Dean. Thanks a lot for your time today.
Thanks, Victoria. Okay, so if there are no questions on that one, we will move on. And next up, we have Paul discuss UK hotel investment with us. I think you should be able to share your screen, Paul, if you want to try.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, the floor is yours.
Good, thank you. Hi, guys. It's Paul Charles here. I represent St. Camillus, who are a hotel operator up in the north with a very sort of unique model that they offer. Just quickly before I start, I've got a quick 1-minute video for you to watch, just to give you a quick introduction. So this hotel was number 7 by Latour. This is St Camillus' 3rd hotel in the UK, where they're operating in a very unique way. So just quickly go through the investment then. This hotel is being bought fully operational. It's located in the centre of Blackpool. And what it will be a standard boutique hotel that will offer accommodation and training for young adults with learning disabilities and autism. What they do is offer the training for them, support, and everything else. So the investment model is by basically buying in a hotel room, which St Camillus will operate for you. The hotel we have available, we have 65 ensuite rooms. Each unit's priced at £49,950. With that, you get 999-year leasehold ownership of the property, so to secure your investment. St Camillus will then contractually assure a 10% net return from you to you. You don't have to pay any operational costs in addition to that. So that's a true 10% net that's paid quarterly in arrears to your nominated bank account. So every quarter they'll pay that part of that 4995 into your account. So there's no other additional cost of ownership. What they do is offer a buyback to you. So at year 5, they will buy back the unit from you at purchase price, or at year 10 at an uplift of 110%. This buyback is actually written into the head lease, and again further secures your investment. You can, as you own the leasehold, sell on the market at any time. St Camillus would want first refusal on this, but because it's a leasehold and you own the title there, you can do that whenever you want. So a bit about St Camillus, again, established in 2015. They opened their first hotel in Gateshead, the Rivers Hotel. This is a 28-room hotel, which was sold, all the rooms were sold to investors there. It has a dining facility. It has an American diner that's run by the students there. They offer training, they offer education. They work very closely with Gateshead College, with the students who come and actually work there in work placements, and actually additional income that's funded by the colleges and the local council to place these people in there, which is where St Camillus sort of benefit from where any hotel would, where they're more reliant on just tourism. Their hotels actually are busier when periods during the week and lower seasons, because the students are there, staying there, going there on package holidays on the holidays where they are, or going there for work experience. Last year, they purchased their first hotel in Blackpool, Chateau. That's a 45-room hotel, which was sold again to our investors. This hotel is fully sold out. It's fully operational. They've renovated it now during the sort of the lower period over the Christmas. They have been really booked. I mean, they've been running sort of 70-75% occupancy before they've started all the work on it. And now they're bringing up to, it's now ready for the summer season. And, it's getting great reviews on TripAdvisor. And again, the rooms and all the facilities, they've got students coming from Gateshead who've come in to help, renovate the rooms, learn working experience in the kitchen and everything else. So these students can go from one area of the UK and get a holiday somewhere that's also familiar for them, which is really important for people with autism. You know, rates of this room of the hotel now, you're looking between £50 to £120 in the high season, where most of the money is made. So they're increasing that year on year, and that's their goal, is to add value to their hotels. Just quickly, a bit of their sort of USP and the market demand for what they offer on top of the tourism. At the minute, there's 700,000 adults in the UK that have autism, and half of those are aged between 16 and 35. And the majority receive primary care directly from families mainly. So really, it sort of directly affects over 1.1 million people. They want to work, they want to gain independence, they want some vocational future. And St Camillus are giving this by having an operational hotel, somewhere for them to stay. That brings the independence in, but also they've got all the open spaces where they can train them in catering, and all the other areas of the hotel. So they're bringing something, giving something back into the community. Quickly go back, quickly just go through the pages we're at. I've talked about the investment. Obviously there's the Rivers Hotel, the hotel in Blackpool there, a bit of the information. So going quickly, this is the hotel here. You'll see in the bottom right sort of where it is currently today, what it will look like. It's an operational hotel, it's not being closed down. They will do a rolling refurbishment. They don't need any planning permissions in place. It's all internal. It's all basically paint and redecoration. So, it'll be new fixtures and fittings, new beds, new bathrooms. The communal areas will be updated as well, and everything else. Currently, it's sitting at around a two-star budget hotel. While once they've finished the work, which will take over the next couple of months, they tend to do most of the work in the lower seasons. But they will start work on it actually as of probably next month or June time, to maximise the income, but also the summer season's coming up. But again, with Latour, their first hotel achieving between £50 and £120 a night, they was far superior that, looking at sort of a 3 to 4 star boutique style hotel. Actually will be one of the first of its type in the town, on the seafront. So here's just some ideas of the work that's going on. As you'll see, what the style of the rooms, we've got all the CGIs there that we've done. Again, the communal areas, they've got 3 floors of event space, the diner, there'll be the restaurant, and also be the function area. So these are all additional income streams that they will use. They'll have, the diner will be open to the public, but also the students will be coming and working there, be funded by the universities. And then they've got the event space where they will be looking at doing weddings, especially, is one key thing, which then when the wedding's there, that's a weekend of full occupancy of a hotel room. Just to give you an idea of the location, number 7 is right on the promenade. The rooms at the front have unsport sea views. It is a 5-minute walk to the centre of Blackpool. It's centre of all the activity there. It's really, really close. There's transport links are amazing. The tram runs right in front of it, right across the promenade. The council have approved funding to extend that tram all the way to the train station, so you can go from the train station straight out to the front of the hotel. There's close to all entertainment there. The Blackpool illuminations runs right in front of the hotel. They run for about 2 months each year, from sort of September to November, bringing about 3.5 million tourists every year. And a tourist will love to stay right in front of all the action. Blackpool Tower is an iconic building in the UK. Blackpool's been known for many years as a holiday destination. The visitors, see on the statement there, the visitors contribute to £1.5 billion to the local economy. And it's growing. Just to give you an idea again, just the location where it is, number 7, you can just see in the distance in the picture, that's Blackpool Tower. Imperial Hotel is probably one of the best hotels in Blackpool. That's the sort of style and the sort of concept. Is actually the CEO of St Camillus, that's his most favourite hotel in Blackpool, which he wants to achieve to. And then obviously you've got the Hilton Hotel, which is even further. The Hilton Hotel is a good 20-minute walk to the centre of town. Again, it's not really attracting the clientele, or they'll be looking for tourism for St Camillus, but it just gives you an idea where these sort of higher end hotels are sitting, purely because of space, limited space, and also, you know, a lot of the smaller hotels are much closer to town.
Last minute.
Yep, going quickly. 80 million visitors are being there. Are going to visit there in 2018. They'll be spending a load of money. They are looking for quality hotels. They're looking, a lot of the hotels there need renovation, and this is what St Camillus do. They're going in, adding value, increasing their occupancy rates and rack rates, further securing your investment. Quickly, £5,000 reservation fee, complete in 28 days. Your first payment comes 3 months after that. So your income generating straight away, and then it's paid on a fixed date every quarter with you. So, you know, there's no wasting around, there's no build time, there's no, you know, waiting around and paying bits and bits all the way through. Your money works for you straight away. That's a quick overview of the numbers you're getting. You know, 5-year ROI 50%, 10-year ROI 110%. So I think I've run through it all quite quickly for you. Sorry about earlier on. I'll leave it open to any questions.
Perfect. Thank you very much for that, Paul. Sounds very interesting. Keep that slide up for me, because I think we'll wait for everyone else to put, if they have any questions, to put on the chat.
Sure, sure.
What is the returns and how often are they paid on this one?
So it's paid quarterly. They pay them actually on fixed dates quarterly. So every 3 months they'll pay, you know, £1,278 into the nominated bank account. So they tend to fix those dates, so all their investors are paid on time. One thing we do learn from working in this, working with hotels and working with investors is getting them paid on time. So we pay, everything comes out as a standing order every quarter on the first of the month into their bank account. We've got 78 investors already in place. Not one have complained over the last 2 years. So, you know, I think we're doing it right.
Good stuff. So 10% per year, guys. This is with a buyback guarantee. Was that 110% as well, right?
At year 5, there's just a buyback of the purchase, so you get your money back out again. So think of it as almost like you know, it's 100% out. So you're 50% return on investment. So your money works for you over the 5 years. The 10 years, they do an uplift of 10%.
Okay, fantastic. Okay. So good stuff. So if there's no questions, then again, we'll send this to everyone so you have it anyway via a YouTube link. Otherwise, we'll move on. We have Meadowside next, I believe. 1 second. Okay, what's the third one? This is Meadowside. This is Manchester Residential. Okay, let's get it unmuted. Okay, in that case, we'll do, first of all, we'll do HSG. We'll do High Street Group with Julian first of all. This is UK Property Loan Notes. Julian, I'll unmute you and ready to share your screen. Take it away.
Hi there, guys. Let me just put the screen on. My name is Julian. I'm here from the High Street Group in the UK. Bear with me 1 second. So our company is a development firm that was launched initially in 2006.
Are you sharing your screen, Julian?
1 second, buddy. Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, our company was initially launched back in 2006 under the branding the High Street Group. We were predominantly initially focused on the lending market, where we grew the High Street Loans Company to the largest UK mortgage lender from 2006 right through to 2008. Over the last 6 years, we've moved more within the development model, and we're currently looking to build out our projects, which currently have a value of around £950 million, dotted across different parts of the UK, spreading from Scotland right through to Newcastle, Birmingham, Liverpool, London, Manchester. Now, our CEO has led our company successfully for the last 11 years. He was the former head of General Motors Financial, the US brand, and City Finance. We're currently building across a number of different spectrums across residential, hotel, and the hospitality development sector. So far, over the last 6 years since we've started our development field, we've built successfully over 20 traditional residential developments and a number of hotel projects, again, in the northeast of the UK, in Scotland. So after our success within the residential field, we've changed our focus a lot to what's becoming a very hot topic in the UK, and that is PRS schemes. Now,
Julian, your
PRS...
mic's very soft, my friend. You might have to...
Can you hear me now?
There you
Is
go.
that better? Okay. So we've moved and changed our attention to what we called PRS schemes within the UK, which is essentially an institutional version of what investors deem a buy-to-let. So instead of... In the UK, we've seen a huge increase in demand from institutions looking to buy out blocks or residential developments on the basis that the yields in the UK are still very attractive. The property prices are still, have great stability, but more importantly, there is a huge shortage of homes within the UK, and the local councils are working very closely with developers that have the ability to work closely with them to develop projects which can be rented out to essentially people that do not have enough liquidity or capital to mortgage or buy properties. Okay, PRS. So we started our first PRS scheme in the form of a loan note in 2016, and to simplify the loan note model, we like to envisage it as investors are essentially partnering with our company during the early development stages, for which we obviously provide them quite an attractive ROI on a relatively short-term basis. So apart from the existing developments that we've completed, our first large PRS scheme was a project based in Milton Keynes, which is just outside of London. We secured the planning permission for a 7-story, 139-unit apartment scheme, for which was quite interesting. If you guys see here, we raised the capital of 2.6 million to assist with the 4.9 million purchase price from our investors in October 2016 during the planning stages, and we were able to return their funds, which at this particular time was in the region of 15% between October 2016 and May 2017. The following project was a great success for High Street Group. It really put us on the map with the larger blue chips within the UK, or the institutions that actually buy the entire developments from developers like ourselves. And our client in this instance was Granger PLC, who are the largest UK listed property holding company. What's very important for all of our investors to understand is that we've gone for incredible due diligence to deliver such a strong sale for a development of 30.5 million on a forward fund basis, where they fund the development cost and the project, with a company that was quite new in the PRS model within this sector of the field. So following Milton Keynes, we had a number of other projects that we've developed, and I'd like to give a small brief explanation with regards to how we deliver the returns to our investors. So once again, our investors coming to, as you can see, the land purchase was £3.5 million. We raised from our investors 5 million, which covered some of the costs, the build cost, the planning phases, etc. And this was done in April 2017. The original plan for this development was 180 units. We managed to increase it to 360 through our expertise. And just to simplify the development process within the UK, we have a very common practice, which is within the UK, land costs are 30%, build costs are 30%, and profit is typically around 30%. So that's the average within the market. What you'll find here is, following our purchase price and the raise price of £5 million, we were able to achieve a valuation on the land of around £50 million, which allowed us to buy out our investors. Okay. We have a number of other projects that we've worked through that are groundbreaking across the UK. Hadrian's Tower is the largest largest skyscraper in Newcastle that we've completed. I'm conscious that we're running low on time, so I'll go through them a little bit quicker and get through to our existing projects. Liverpool Street's another scheme that we've recently done in Salford, and we've successfully completed 7 loan notes where you can see the raised capital over the last 2 years. We've borrowed funds from investors to help us throughout the purchase and development process and deliver these returns successfully on all occasions. Okay. So what we've developed over the last few months is, instead of focusing on specific projects, on the basis that we've recently signed a really interesting agreement with E&J Capital, we've developed our 18-month loan note, which pays 15 to 18% return to investors over an 18-month period. The growth option would be paid at end of term, the full 18% at 18 months, and the income option is paid 15% biannually for the total term. Okay. Now, what the most important part of our investment, I feel, is that we offer security for any funds that we borrow from our investors via our security trustee. Now, we've been doing business with our security trustee for the last around 8 years. They've helped us list multiple bonds on international markets, which is how we've developed our development firm. And the security trustee hold what we call a legal charge over all of our assets. Okay. Our current portfolio sits roughly at £34 million. That's not our gross development value, but that's what we value our assets. And the security trustee holds the ability to seize our assets if we do not fulfill the returns to our investors and pay back their initial capital. So the 18-month loan note is built around our rooftop extensions model. So we've recently signed a partnership with a company called E&J Capital. E&J Capital are probably one of the largest funds in the UK who own freehold sites. So they own the land and the blocks across London and Manchester, a total of 1,800. Okay. So as I mentioned previously, typically the most expensive cost for developers is sourcing the land at the right price, which we look at typically being in outside of London in the region of 30%. In London, it's more close to 40%. Okay. Our deal with E&J Capital is very straightforward. They provide us with the blocks, and we then continue to build additional stories on these existing structures in areas throughout London and Manchester where land is scarce. For this deal, we split the profit margin 50-50 with the owners, E&J Capital. So we've already identified our first 8 projects, which does actually entail quite a lot of due diligence to ensure that we will receive full planning approvals so we can start the build out on these schemes. And the first 8 are actually based in around London and Manchester. But the key factor of the rooftop extension model is that our cost to acquire the sites is 0. However, we do have to split the profit 50-50 with that land owner. Okay, so here's an example of our first scheme that we're starting to build out in London. It's based in Islington. We're building an additional 30 apartments over 3 additional stories in a very, very high demand area in London. The total sales value of the 30 apartments is going to be conservatively 4.4 million. Obviously, we haven't had to pay for the land, and our build costs are 5.4, which gives us a gross profit of 9 million. The value of understanding why that's important is we're currently only raising £10 million to help us build out the first 10 to 15 schemes through the rooftop model. And you can see from the first scheme here, the profitability that we have and the security that comes with it. The development risk is very minimal. Okay, so to summarize our company, we've achieved profits of 26 million in 2016. We're on target for 40 million in 2017. We have already, in terms of projects that are under construction or have been delivered or are going through planning stages. Current GDV, a gross development value of £940 million. We have partners with some of the largest asset management companies within the UK. It's very important, once again, for all investors to understand that we work with the likes of Aberdeen Asset Management, Aviva, which is one of the UK's largest pension funds, who we're actually currently signing a rooftop deal with as well, Granger PLC, and the list is quite endless. And why that should have relevance to our investor base is they tend to feel very comfortable in working with High Street Group, investing into our projects, which also provides good confidence for our investors based on the relationships that we've built with the most credible companies in the UK. So we've been operating our investment model now for 6 years across the residential, hotel, student market and the PRS market. And we've been successfully paying our investors in similar structures for that time period. I think so far we've raised over £30 million from investors and paid all in full on time. Okay. And we, once again, to summarize, the current raise is for £10 million. It pays 18% in 18 months. And it's completely secured against a security trustee that acts like a bank to ensure that all returns are paid to our investors in time. I'd like to close it off. I'm conscious of time, so if anybody has some questions, please let me know.
Thanks very much, Julian. Appreciate that, mate. Again, guys, if any questions come in, please put on the right-hand side. Otherwise, I'll tell you a bit about this from an agency selling this or that has sold this in Malaysia to a lot of my clients who bought this, because it's short term, it's better return than you can get on your traditional buy-to-let, and it's secure because it's secure against the company's whole entire asset. So when you're investing in a project, normally your only security is that particular one unit if things go wrong. Well, in this case, the reason I like loan notes so much is because they're often secured against the company's entire assets, and with a faultless track record over a number of years now, it's as good as investing in the bank or putting your money into a government bond, albeit that you're getting more returns because it's property based. Okay, so if we haven't got any other questions on the right side, we'll thank Julian for very much for sharing his time.
Thank you, Dean, and thank you all for listening.
To Jamie, who will be discussing a very unique and very probably more popular by the day, a 5-star hotel in France. I'll unmute you now, and you should be able to speak.
Yes, hello, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Can hear you, Jason. There you go. Floor's yours, my friend.
You can hear me, yes?
Yep, can hear you fine.
Yeah, hello, good afternoon. Hi, everyone. My name's Jamie Johnson. I'm the Business Development Manager of Halcyon Developments Group. You kind of caught me on an awkward day. I'm in Madrid at the Digital Inbound Marketing Conference, which I've just stepped away from to come and jump on this webinar. So let me just bring up my screen. I want to share the PowerPoint. Here we go. You should. Okay, here we go. So Halcyon Development Group. First of all, we're a development group which started in the year 2003. We've handled more than 3,000 overseas properties globally. The company sells unique holiday properties within its own developments. The target over the next 10 years is to develop 10 resorts. The track record speaks for itself, with our owners having handled more than 3,000 property purchases, which is based between Bulgaria, predominantly the Eastern Europe, as well as Florida. This is the project which I'm going to talk about today. It's a chateau which was built by the Viscount of Fort. The chateau was built in 1896. It became a base for the resistance in World War II. Since then, it's now been turned over. It's now a hotel with a restaurant which has been added. The hotel itself is open. It's operational. We have 355 reviews on TripAdvisor, 142 reviews on Booking.com. Full planning permission has been granted. And with that, we're able to build a 220-unit development within the grounds of the Chateau. So what you're seeing on your screen is the village, which is what we're building and what we're raising the finance to construct. Construction has already started. We're building an 18-hole golf course, fine dining restaurant, world-class spa, aqua park, and so much more. So up until now, the entire development has been self-funded. And we've got to where we are with the Chateau being completely renovated. The Chateau is completely finished. We've got a partnership, a 20-year agreement with the Wyndham Group, which many of you will know. Wyndham is the largest hotel chain in the world by number of beds. And of course, over the last 2 years, we've watched this loan note market simply explode. The likes of Empire, Godwin, High Street Group, fine examples. The loan note market, the method of raising finance via loan notes has simply exploded. As a company, our day-to-day business is selling fractionals to lifestyle buyers. However, this is the issue. French VEFA regulations, VIFA regulations, are stopping us from taking more than 5% deposit per property until we build the foundations. Once the foundations have been built, we're then able to take the first stage payment, which is 34%. So to make this absolutely crystal clear, for last month, March, we had £1.6 million worth of fractional unit sales. According to these regulations, we're only allowed to take 5% of that funds and use it for development. Obviously, once we've done the foundation, that would then unlock 34%. So if we were to build using the 5% of the £1.6 million from last month's sale, that would only give us £80,000 for development costs. And this is the very reason we've launched this loan note market, loan note investment, and we're going into the loan note market. The duration of the investment is a period of 12 months. The construction of the foundations, which has just started, we've got lots of photos which we've already shared and more to come. The construction's well underway, and we're on target to having the investors in and out within a 12-month period. Our goal with this 12-month loan note is simply to get our investors paid out and then launch further developments throughout Europe, which of course, if we take care of the investors, they're going to take care of us on our very next one. So how much are we looking to raise? We're interested in raising £1.3 million to build out the foundations. We've priced it in multi-currency, so you can invest in pounds, euros, or US dollars, with the minimum investment being £25,000. The exit strategy, very important. This £1.3 million raise gives us 100% liquidity. So minus the cost to go ahead and build the foundation, and of course unlock the even larger liquidity pool, pay back the loan note investors. Once we have built these foundations, it will unlock that 34% stage payment, which allows us to pay back these loan note investors. And of course, just listening to some of the other presenters on the webinar, a big thing is security. Investors' funds are being raised via the SPV mechanism. Your invested capital is placed within the SPV, and the SPV is then loaning the invested capital to the resort company. And the security is offered by a purchase contract that in the event of housing development groups not defaulting on the loan, so not paying back the invested funds, the SPV will take control of 3 plots of land which has full planning permission for 3 apartment buildings and any of the construction on it. And in terms of the valuation, we instructed Savills to provide a valuation in the summer of last year, 2017. And Savills they've come back, which we'll share it with you, so it's all available for everyone to see. The GDV, gross development value, of 67 million euros. Finally, Wyndham. We've got a 20-year agreement signed with the Wyndham Group. They're running the Chateau. They're filling the beds. That's their job. That's not what we do. We develop, we build, we construct. Wyndham is tasked with filling beds, and there's no better group to do it than Wyndham. A couple of pictures for you. This is the restaurant within the Chateau. This is a typical a bedroom within the chateau, a very, very high standard. We've got a spa, world-class spa. This is the golf clubhouse which we're going to build. The kids' play zone, fishing lakes. We've acquired 2 lakes, recently completed on the purchase of those 2 fully stocked lakes with carp, pike. We all know France is famous for fishing holidays. We've got a equestrian centre, horse riding. So yeah, let's summarise. 12-month investment, paying an 18% return. The investor is able to invest from 25,000 in their chosen currency, namely pounds, euros, or dollars. The investment is 100% asset backed by the purchase contract, which is subject to the event of default. Full planning permission granted, and construction is happening right now. And finally, we've got a 20-year agreement with Wyndham to manage the resort. And that's it. That's mine.
Thanks very much for that, Jamie. I appreciate your time, buddy. I know you've got the event to do, so I won't take up too much of your time.
Last week would have been perfect. Believe me. I had a different hotel booked, but I was like, no. I had to rebook a different hotel so that the hotel that I'm in now is right next to the venue. So it's fine. It's business. It's all good.
If you have a question, just please unmute yourself and you can just ask away. Otherwise, the reason why I like this investment and why I will be marketing this to my clients in the coming months, because we've only just heard about this really in the last few weeks, is because, one, it's exciting. Look at that hotel. It's absolutely fantastic. Wyndham Group, again, as you said, Jamie, it speaks for itself in terms of the largest hotelier in the world by numbers of heads. You know, these guys do their own DD on a location before putting their name to it. So they have access to a lot more information than your typical investor would. So if they're happy with it, then we should be as investors as well. Other than that, that will pretty much wrap up today. Thank you very much for attending. Every single week, we're going to have 5 new investors, five new developers come on and speak. So next Wednesday, we've got another 5 more. This session will be recorded, what has been recorded, and will be posted online tonight or latest tomorrow morning on YouTube, and you email to each and every one of you, so you have the link that you can share with your agents, investors, referrals, anyone you'd like to, and we'll keep this as an ongoing series. So thanks very much again to all of our developers that have logged on and spent their time to share their projects with us. I know doing it in 10 minutes is not always that easy, but I think the first session was good. So thank you very much, and we'll see you again next week.